The S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, that's what we're covering today. Very short, sweet video. Sorry for the later video here in the day. Had a science fair thing with my son. Anyway, so we're here. We're going to get straight to it. Now, first thing I want to say is, what are we looking for? Now, I mentioned yesterday, I mentioned the day before that, I mentioned continually, right? Basically, what you want to see for continuation for the upside, for a, confirmation, if you will, is a break and hold of like the 15.4 level. I've said it over and over. That's what you need to see. Like this level right here, okay? This is Nasdaq, right? You came into that point, we're getting a little bit rejected. That's where we're at. ES level here. Now, I've said 44.20, but it's like 44.26 roughly. But again, we can just use this level as a marker for you guys. And again, just so you know, these levels never change. They're going to stay here pretty much forever. So anyways, that's what's happening. You push in, got a little bit rejected. Now, the ultimate point of where we're at, how we're moving. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, and you just looked at the thumbnail, then maybe you got the wrong idea. But we were kind of already seeing some of that action that we wanted to see. We kind of are. So we got some really, and let me come back to futures here. We saw things like NVIDIA. You get above 464 and really good hold today, right? I accidentally deleted all my stuff here off of my NVIDIA chart, but we'll bring it up real quick so you can just see that level. That 464, I kept saying, if you get above this level, high possibility, in my opinion. Holding that, you push into all-time highs. Still believe that. Okay, you pushed up. We broke from 464, went into around 475, 476. Retest, holding, very good. But I want you to understand a going theme here is that these tech names are all showing a lot of strength, right? Go into something like Amazon, right? Amazon, very good action, breaking to the upside. Microsoft was one of the only weaker names today, but even then, you had a really good bounce back. Even though they have bad news surrounding them, you're still trading very good, holding 330. I'm going somewhere with this. AVGO, semiconductors, one of the top 5 names in the Nasdaq now, right? If you've missed this, well, spoiler alert, we've covered it here on the channel, time and time again here. And to give you a visual, you're getting the behavior we want, pushing right into 900, right? Over 870, back into 900, 889. Same levels, right? So you're going to keep going. Apple, what happened here? Apple, new local highs today. Pushed into, 182, breaking out. Strong hold, retest 180, 179, breaking back up. I can go on and on and on this list. Okay, so these are things to understand. And when you go and look at futures, I believe they give you a little bit of a false understanding of what's happening here. Because we look at ES and you really didn't get too much ground today, right? And I want to show you Dow. And I think Dow paints a picture of what's actually happening here. Dow was the weakest one because CPI and PPI came out with worse than expected inflation reports. And it really wasn't surrounding energy, which was the good note. But I believe what the CPI reports are going over, I'm not going to cover that today. I might do it tomorrow. I just don't have enough time. What the CPI reports are showing is this. One, from basically, I believe we're in October now. So from September's reading here into October, energy actually dropped drastically in cost on inflation, which is really good and surprising, which means if oil continues this path, it's going to drop even faster. That's one thing to think about. Number 2, shelters are the area in inflation right now that are causing the biggest issue, which basically is talking about rent prices and along those lines, right? Now, there's this idea that this is being dominated by inflation, which I can get behind. But what's happening with the rental market is people can not buy homes right now because of these rates. Giving you an example. If I'm in this is a real life example because I'm in this predicament right now. If I want to buy a $420,000 house at 7-8% interest and put, for instance, a new home buyer, FHA, I'm going to put 3% down, or you want to put 20% down, whatever you want to do. It's not going to make that giant of a difference. But nonetheless, you do that. Now, 2 years ago, 2020, 2021, I'd be paying around $1,500 on my interest. Fast forward to today, it's sitting at about, I just did the math today, $2,600. The number's almost doubling. So for normal people, it's just wait it out. That's the reality here. And so when we look at what's happening, it makes sense with home buyers are slowing down and they're moving into rentals, and the rental demand is just very high. That's, in my opinion, what's happening there. And that's a direct impact from the Fed. That's the only negative impact from the Fed. But that's just the reality of what we're in right now. So I don't think the shelter issue gets resolved. The only good thing I can say is that rent prices usually drop in the winter months. That's when specials happen. That's just the slowest time for rentals. So we'll see there. But so far, what I will say is, again, we look at oil, we look at DXY. We'll talk about that in a second. Oil, very, very bearish. Now, everyone's very interested on DXY, and I'll tell you why DXY shot up like this. It's the same reason why, yes, the ES dropped like this. What happened is you had your bond sell off, your bond auction today. So your treasury bond, I think 30-year treasury bond auction today. Very weak demand. Okay, things to realize here, right? So what happens from that? This sparks a reaction of a bounce from support. And again, we have people commenting on the video, which do whatever you want. I don't really mind. This is bringing me to my next segment. Before we dive into that, consider liking and subscribing. It helps out tons. I appreciate all the love and support. Let's get back to this. Also, too, Discord link is down below if you aren't interested. This is not a signals Discord. We do post how we trade, what we're trading, but most of all, we're trying to teach people how to go to trade on their own, understand why we're trading everything, understand what we're looking at the market, why we're trading slowly, breaking down throughout the day what we're looking at, other traders going over their trades, journaling your trades, critiquing what you could fix with your strategy, how you could integrate supply and demand, what indicators we use, why you're wasting your time, etc. Things like that. We are directly with all of our members. But the one thing that I will say, and I keep seeing this happening in Discord, people join, and I keep, the first thing I say when I talk about Discord is do not join if you just want signals. If you join Discord and put in the work, I promise you the results will greatly impact you. 100%. I literally just got this message, and Gary, you might not want me to show, but I don't really care. Anyways, so Gary, he's been a member for a minute now. I don't really know how long. I've never really even talked to the guy. He just lurks around in Discord. Kudos to him. Puts in work. Now, one thing that's happening here is he had an issue with his credit card, so I just said message support. The end, I just was busy. And he said, by the way, great channel. Joining you guys Discord really took my trading to the next level, more than worth the money. I think he's just a basic access member. I don't want to say that you're going to go to this part where you're just going to make millions of dollars or anything like that, but it's going to get you on the path of success. But I'm going to tell you right now, when you pay attention, you use the lessons, and you ask questions, I promise you the results will speak for themselves. That's with anything in life, though. If you don't use us, find someone else that you can kind of pick their brains at, spend time with them, understand and learn from them. Now, going back to what I was saying about DXY, everyone keeps saying, Tyler, DXY, it's bullish, it's this, it's that. Now, what do I always say about DXY? You need to use higher time frames. We have to use higher time frames. DXY at this moment in time, you had a close below yesterday, but we need multiple closes there to get confirmation, right? So this doesn't happen. But you're just back in this range right now. But one thing that we know about the dollar, one thing that's been tried and true, is the dollar hasn't really been leading, right? The dollar found its bottom on the 13th of July. What has really been leading with the pullbacks in the market, anything like that? It's been the same thing for the past 2 years. And the name is oil. So for everyone that's throwing these ideas out there, I don't throw ideas. I just show you factually what has happened and what continues to happen. So right now, and again, when did oil find its bottom? May 4th, over 2 months before that, right? So you continue to bounce here. And then when you actually bounce right here, June 28th, again, 2 weeks ahead of the dollar finding its low, it went straight up here with oil, which proceeded to have the worst reading from CPI and PPI over the course of the year, which sparked the market to retrace. Again, this is factual. I don't know what else to say. So the things that we're looking at here, oil again today, not a good candle. And I'm not just picking and choosing things. I'm just showing you what's happening. Now, oil needs to hold below 82 to really be bearish, but you're sitting right on that support. You could break out and push back to the upside. It could happen. But the things that I'm looking at right now is what's happening directly with Iran. And this is a very sticky situation. So I don't want to just say this has to happen. We have to drop or anything like that. Like I continue to say in yesterday's video, there's a lot of big ifs. But if we don't get into that conflict, if oil stays where it's at and continues to drop, I promise you, inflation reports will continue to come out better. It's just a fact of the matter. It's the same thing of what I told you guys back in 2022. If you don't believe me, go watch the videos or ask someone that was watching the videos during the whole year. This was our giant indicator. When you started bottoming out here, big indicator, right? Right here. June 2022, just keep going down. Remember when we shorted everything back here? We made a ton of money. We went long on oil. We went short on Russia. We went short on, we made a lot of money. But again, oil's been one of the best indicators, especially of, inflation and what's sparking it. Because right now we're in such a sensitive time for inflation. So got to highlight that. Okay, so going into tomorrow, what am I looking at? Number one, to get a confirmation to the upside. I want to be crystal clear about this so it cannot be misconstrued. It cannot be falsified. And also, I'm just in a really terrible mood. My head is killing me. I feel absolutely terrible. You got to get above 44.20 now. You get above that, confirmation to the upside. Until then, you're kind of range bound here. You're just bouncing off and just kind of chilling here. But what I will say is the strongest area in the market is tech. Look at the ETFs. Tech is booming, is killing it. We go look at industrials. Pretty weak, not a great day. Go look at healthcare. Not great. Go look at banks, which banks do report tomorrow morning. That's kind of scary, I'm not going to lie. Which if they do good, I think we're going to bounce pretty strong. XLF hasn't been doing great. Again, you're going to notice the sector that's killing it the most is tech. XLK. I'm not lying to you. So for people saying, oh, we're squeezing, we're not, we're this, we're that. Guys, I look, I'm going to tell you right now. I just tell you what's on the charts. Don't shoot the messenger, right? You're like, hey, Tyler, you've been wrong. You're this, you're that. Look, hey, don't shoot the messenger. This guy, I don't know. He didn't post his trade. But anyways, Tesla, everything where AVGO calls, SPY, puts from the high. All right, I don't know. That guy didn't post his picture either. SQQ, Amazon, posted in Discord. Amazon, AVGO again, right? I don't know what else to say, right? Don't shoot the messenger. Have a good one, traders. Be safe. Don't be a degenerate. See you tomorrow.